Oh man, I wish you were recording the whole time. Just don't even tell people you're recording. It's just like...
All right,
yeah.
Hey everyone, it's producer Annie here. I am in the studio right now with two artists, one comedian in fact. We have Sam Gebreselassie, who is a comedian, and Sami Obama, artist, and they are teaming together to make Australia's first African-Australian comedy web series. Please welcome to the studio, Sam and Sami.
Hey, hello, this is Sam.
Yeah, you can hear all the round of applause in the background.
Yeah, usually we have the sound effect. Dean likes to overplay it, so I'm going to hold back and just give you, all the applause naturally. How are we all today?
Yeah, very, very good. It was hard finding a park, but yeah, very good. Apart from that, it was good. Yeah,
to find a park,
but it's good to be here.
Yeah, and you're very busy at the moment. You're working on post-production for this film. Tell me about how you first met and got your artistic collaboration together.
Oh man, I tell that story all the time. You should tell this one.
Yeah, well, we started is it 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago probably. We met at one of our friend Joe White's show. He comedy show.
Comedian from Melbourne.
Yeah, comedian from Melbourne,
Ethiopian.
Joe White. Yeah, he's Ethiopian as well.
Yeah.
Originally from Perth.
Yeah, came to Melbourne.
Yeah, so he was doing his show at the comedy festival, and then he let me open for him. And Sammy went to watch that show, and after the show, me and Sammy just started talking, and Sammy's like, "Hey, I'm a actor, filmmaker, and I want to make sketches. Can you write some sketches for me?" And then I wrote him a couple of sketches. He chose one to produce and
it was
film.
When I first met him, basically, I was in that state of I just quit my 9 to 5, so I definitely wanted to go all in the producing side, and so but I wanted someone to collaborate with constantly on a regular basis, like a writer, so I can focus more on the producing side,
producing film.
Yeah, so basically he said that he was looking for someone for actors and stuff like that to be in his sketches, and that was basically just the moment we just clicked.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, wait, you want to collaborate with writing and stuff? I'm like, I'm wanting writers, and so basically we had the same intention, basically opposing. He wanted to write, and I wanted
to write, and Sammy wanted to produce and film and act.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, this is perfect. So straight away
when I met him, he basically had 30 list of sketches that he had. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
He sent it to me, and he's like, pick one.
Just pick anyone.
Just pick. I was
a list of 30, but none of them are written down. They're just ideas
in your head. Yeah.
Well, they're just premises.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, if you choose one, I'll just write it down step by step, the whole sketch. And he chose one. It was a Bachelor. It was a Bachelor parody, the Bachelor parody.
Yes, I've seen that one.
Yes,
yeah.
So the Bachelor parody, he chose that one, so I wrote that, and then he just constantly messaged me are you done? Are you done? Are you done? So I was like, oh my god, I need to actually focus and work on this. And so when I finally was done, he has a lot of acting friends, and so he got all of them, and got the filmmaker. There's another filmmaker, Sean
Dobra, who was my cinematographer in this other feature film that I did. Yeah, and he was great. He was great.
Yeah, so we went to, where was it? Footscray Gardens.
Yeah,
and we filmed that in one day from I think it was 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah,
and then that finished post-production a month later. We released it, and it got a lot of views, and it was very popular. And then Sammy was like, "Oh, I've got another sketch idea. It's called Jebena Genie. Let's just sit down and let's just go and record it." And then we were in Footscray Gardens again, and we were recording.
We did a different sketch that morning. Remember the skinny sketch?
Oh yeah, we did another sketch.
A green screen.
Yeah, we did.
That sounds great. He's got all the elements. Green screen.
Yeah.
What is it? It's about skinny people.
Skinny people. It was just my insecurities. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna give it back to these people that sound skinny.
That's great.
And
then tackling all the important issues in the world.
Exactly. Yeah. Just
We wish they had more time as well. After we wrapped up earlier than we thought. So we just I had this premise in my mind for a while. It came to my mind when I was at work. I had this bottle, And I like rubbed the bottle, and I was like, oh, it would be funny if a genie came out of this bottle and just call it bottle genie. I was like, oh, that's funny.
Where did you work?
I worked at this science lab where we basically examine and check for swabs of like when the food expires and if the food is consumable.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say we check for traces of genies. I'm like, oh, wow.
Yes, traces of genie.
Lab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is a science lab.
Yeah.
So like
Cool.
there was a lot of smokes around as well, a lot of potions around, and that's why I was like, I think that's where the idea would have sparked.
Yeah.
And so I just written it in my like future, like I have like list of things that I want to make. So I just popped it in there, and I told Sam about it. And luckily, I think I quickly went to my mum's house and got the Jebena Genie.
Oh yeah, we probably should explain what a Jebena is.
Yeah.
Reading. So it's a type of coffee.
So no, Jebena is like an apparatus that you use to make coffee. So they put the water and the coffee, the ground up coffee inside, and then you put it on a stove and it heats up.
Yeah, there's like a lot of different cultures will make coffee that way, right? You
Yeah.
see it, like in Turkish and Lebanese stores,
Exactly.
they do that, and you get that sludge at the end.
Yeah. And they use those little cups as well. I think the Turkish and stuff use the little cup, and we do as well, these little cups. And so the Jebena is that apparatus, and Sammy was like, oh, what if a Jebena comes out of this? And we just call it Jebena Genie. That's the only...
The genie came out of the Jebena,
It
Jebena,
also looks like a lamp as well. It looks like a lamp. So I figured like if the lamp is like used to make tea, I mean some use it for oil, but it's also used for tea. And I was like,
lamp?
Yeah, some like not the you know how I don't know
a kettle.
The kettle. Yeah.
Okay.
There's some kettles that also look like a lamp. No.
A lamp
even know
uses,
your kettles.
Yeah, whatever. You know, like I was
lamps
like,
make tea. All right.
well, whatever, man.
Yeah,
Whatever,
I'm just
you know
joking.
what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
It also looks like a lamp, so that's where I was like, oh.
Were you big fans of Aladdin growing up?
Yes, I was.
definitely.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, it was.
What was it about it that inspired you?
It was just I think the magic, just how crazy it was, and I think Robin Williams playing Genie, that was just a great role for him as well.
And in the show, Sammy, you play the genie.
I'm the genie. Yeah.
And Sam, you're like the everyday guy.
I'm the everyday guy.
Yeah.
Regular Joe Schmo. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Joe Schmo? I just made up a new thing.
Yeah. So tell me about the storyline. Can you give much away?
So Sam is like he's like a door-to-door insurance salesman who has just broken up with his girlfriend, and he's like just having a bad time, and he wants to get back with his girlfriend, and also trying to do really well at his job that he hates, though, going door to door selling insurance.
Life insurance.
Oh, life insurance.
Yeah,
like
life
the
insurance.
daytime TV ads.
Yeah, exactly.
At home,
that. Yeah.
That and funeral insurance. But,
Exactly.
yeah.
So it's the perfect time to be selling life insurance while people are watching ads for life insurance. You knock on their door and they're like, how did you know?
Oh my gosh. I think you have a career beyond this.
Yeah. If this doesn't work out, you know. And so, yeah, and then he goes into a house and obviously finds a genie, and from
Obviously.
there,
Yeah.
yeah, find like as it goes. You know, we always find genies, but and then it's just how his life unravels after finding the genie, and him realizing that maybe his life would have been better without the genie, or like
Yeah. Do you have other people playing characters as well, or is it a two-man?
No, we've got a couple of people playing other characters as well. We've got Caitlin, who plays my lawyer.
Yep.
Yeah. We've got.
We'll let you figure that out how we
So you guys know where this is going. If I need a lawyer,
is it possible to sue a genie, a fictional? Like
and then Artyom.
Yeah,
Artyom plays my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And there's Steph, who plays she plays bad cop.
Bad cop.
And then Luke plays good cop. And yeah, we've got Steve, who plays Caitlin's dad. Yeah, we've got a lot of great actors.
You're focusing on diversity as well.
Oh,
yeah,
so much. Yeah, that was our main
thing.
thing. That was just like because like being in the acting scene as well is very difficult in Australia to get roles, and when you do get roles, it's usually written by someone who's not a person of color.
Yeah.
And so there's a certain stigma, there's a certain stereotype that they tend to put in there.
Yes. I had a friend who, she's African living in Australia as well. And she says when you see them in some descriptions, you know what race they want, even though they don't say. Like when they say bubbly, they mean like a blonde chick. So there's ways that they get around it. But how did you know that this was definitely the first African Australian series? Did you have to do your research to make sure you were the first?
Well,
I don't even know.
No. Look, this is I did my research. In Australia, it would be the first in Australia, outside of America. And that was our thing as well. There's like so many Americans doing a lot of things in America, in London, and they just like going at it, and there's like so much opportunities going on in there for them, and it's inspiring for the younger generations that they're doing it for, because now, like, you can make a film with your phone. It's at your disposable. But in Australia, there wasn't a lot of people doing it, and when there wasn't that much recognition. So we basically just wanted to do something that will inspire the young generations for all people of color, not just Africans, but represent everybody.
And doing it on the web is such a great thing to empower yourselves, because I just went to the premiere of Fee and Me on the weekend, which is
we were just talking about it.
I loved it.
For everyone listening, it's the first Australian Vietnamese web series, and everyone wants it to be on TV for the next season, because the production value is so high. And I watched it in the cinema, and I feel like that was natural for it. Like people should pay money to see this. And do you have similar goals? Like, because you can't get through to the mainstream, this is what you are choosing to do now?
Yeah, because I think Sami, like, I've seen Sami act, and I've seen him do plays and everything, and every time I watch him, I'm like, how are you not getting a lot of roles? Like, a lot of people should be seeing you act and perform like this, but he's not getting the roles that he, I think, definitely deserves. And so we kind of sat down and spoke about how if we're not going to be given the opportunities, why don't we create them ourselves? And that was a big thing for Sami and I, and we're so happy we went through it, because once we started, we were like, oh, this is so hard. But after a while, we enjoyed it so much. Like, everyone that was involved as well was so helpful. Sami's very hardworking, like, dedicates so much time to everything he does, puts so much passion, and he's actually a really well-known dancer in our community as well. And he's like he's very inspirational to people that are from Ethiopia and like that want to do things like this, because Ethiopians have this, like, there's this stereotype about Ethiopians and how we're somewhat, I guess we're somewhat timid, and we're like scared to do things like this. And Sami is like, I guess, past that. He's past that barrier of being like, I have to do this, I have to follow what my parents say, and just like going out there and doing everything he can to achieve his dreams and his goals. And I was just like, dude, you're great at acting, you're great at filmmaking, editing and stuff. Let's just do it ourselves. And when people see all this, I'm sure you'll get roles easily. Yeah,
that's so nice of you. I can see there's true
$100
love in this friendship. He's actually like stomping on Sam's foot under the table right now.
It's like, hey, stop holding my hand. What are you doing?
And do you feel the same way about Sam's comedy?
Absolutely. Like, the first time I actually saw him perform was, like, to be honest, I felt a bit like, before I even seen him speak, I was like, oh, I hope he does okay, because like when he first went on, he had this shy character of just walking in there, and everybody felt it as well. They're just like, ooh,
because I think the thing is, our personalities are so different as well. He's got a huge personality, and I'm like, ugh. And so the first time I met him, I was like, whoa, this guy is too much. Like, dude, calm down.
But you're very chill. You're very like laid back.
Yeah, I get asked, am I stoned all the time? I'm like, no, I'm just chilling out. What do you need to do? So it was, I guess that's what makes us like a great combination, is because he's got that energy to drive things, and I'm like, quiet, but I'll do things quietly.
This guy's
as well.
very
Yeah.
intelligent. Like, actually, let's mention this. He's actually a doctor.
Oh,
He's
No,
actually.
well, not a doctor, but
You're a doctor, man.
you work in a hospital.
I'm
You're a doctor.
I'm a physio. That's
Physio, that's a doctor. That's a doctor. No, but like when I first saw him perform, just the moment he walked on stage, I was like,
You were
please-
nervous for
please
him.
do well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he literally said three things, and I went on the floor cracking up, and everybody was like, what was that? What?
yeah.
They were just shocked. We're just like, whoa. And he kept a very straight face while he was doing all his material. I was like, whoa, where did that come from? And that's like, afterwards, I was like, yeah, we're
Yeah.
definitely working together.
That's
man.
so great. Yeah, you're the kind of person who doesn't really laugh at their own jokes, do they?
No, I'm
yeah,
dead.
I'm the same.
Yeah, deadpan
Deadpan.
somewhat. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about the post-production and what that involves and how you're going to be fundraising for it.
So so we're doing. So we've released our trailer for Jebena Genie. So Sami was able to put together some scenes to create a trailer. So we've released that, and we're hoping that kind of motivates people to donate to see the whole series. And the way we're doing it, so on our website, we've got a link to chuffed.org.au, which is a website for crowdfunding.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone that wants to help us in any way they can go to the website and give any amount they can, or they can share the link, share the actual trailer on their Facebook page or any social media page. With what we want to do is, like, we're hoping that Will Smith will see this. Yeah, this is a big part of it. It's like,
Yeah.
see,
He's
'Cause
an
he just
integral
did-
part of
he
your
just did
marketing.
it.
yeah,
Aladdin.
it's
He
an
just
integral
did the
part. And
Aladdin joke,
yeah,
yeah.
he just did Aladdin, and this is like somewhat of an adaptation of Aladdin. So we.
Yeah. Was that meant the timing meant to line up? Because it is now.
No.
isn't
Oh,
it?
absolutely.
No.
As a matter of fact, we actually didn't even know they were
Yeah.
going to do a live action when we started.
This
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
2 years ago.
No clue. Yeah, we started this
Well,
2
maybe you
years
should
ago.
think about like the Lion King for your next one. When the live action comes, you'll be ready.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, I could pull off Simba if I take my
Lion,
hand out.
Lion King, but with real people
Yeah,
who live in the jungle. For some
Yeah.
reason. Yeah.
just an everyday guy. Now he's selling, like funeral insurance.
Yeah, exactly. But his dad is alive.
His dad-
Yeah. We got this, man. I put my hand up for the next one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
Thank you for it.
we want like Will Smith to see it, and like we just feel like he's that type of guy that will, if he sees it and he gets a lot of people sending him it
Yeah.
or tagging him in and
Yes.
things, he'll just be like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna post about this, or I'm gonna
Yeah, so your
contact
call
these people.
to action is to tweet Will Smith with this
Tag
trailer.
him, tag him with the
tweet
trailer.
him,
Yeah.
Just annoy the hell out of him.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much. That's like, yeah. Until he's like, God damn it, what is this Jebena Genie thing, man?
Yeah,
And
so-
he sees it, he's like, whoa, hey. It's actually not that bad.
That's a pretty good Will Smith impression.
I'm a huge Will Smith fan, actually. Like, that's like,
You remind me of the Will Smith and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air every
All the
time.
time.
Yeah, all the time.
Love like Will Smith. Like growing up, that was like his films and shows was like what I grew up on, and that's why when I heard he's doing Aladdin and he's gonna play the genie, I was like, yo, this is like a great opportunity for me to actually embody the inner Will Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so fantastic. And how many years has it been going now? Is it a long
So-
process?
Oh yeah, we started 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Originally, we had no budget, so we pretty much shot this. This is our third attempt.
Yeah.
Not attempt, but like first it started off as a sketch, and then
Yeah.
from that sketch, I showed it to my best friend Miriam, who was part of the process of mapping out the story and the episodes and stuff. So she basically said, "Yo, Sammy, this has the potential to be an actual show." I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Why not like make a series out of it?" I was like, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. It just means like we will have more screen time, like we'll have more shows, or so the next day I approached him and we're just like, yo, so this is the idea, what do you think? And he's like, great, let's do it. We started writing, and then the next week week we started filming. I went to YouthWorks, which is where I studied media. And I basically went to John. I was like, hey, can you help us with any way? And he's like, no, we can't, but we can give you gear. I was like, fantastic. That's all we need, because like I have the filmmaking experience anyways. So we took it. And then And then basically we started from there. And then the next week I came back and I was like, hey, John, can I borrow the gear again? And he's like, wait, you're not done? You got more? I was like, yeah, it's gonna be every Thursday. And he's like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, yeah. He was like, oh god damn it.
Did he underestimate you? He thought it was a little like, a little project,
Yeah.
little
Pretty
hobby
much.
thing.
Yeah. And then I was there pretty much every single day. Like he let me man, John is just such a great guy. He's
John is a founder. You want to tell? John is a founder.
Yeah, so he's the he found this basically started this non-for-profit organization called Postproduction, which is a media training platform that trains underprivileged young people who are at risk of homelessness and who are going through a struggle, and they basically help them with the film and media aspect of it.
So
and then they hire them afterwards, give them like 1 year training,
Yeah.
and then they basically mentor them through that year, giving them professional experience, and then they help them find professional industry jobs in the field of media or radio if they want to do radio as
That
well. We
sounds
did
so
radio
fantastic.
training.
We'd have listeners who'd be interested in that for sure.
Yeah, he's amazing. I think how many students do it per year?
Oh man, there's
Like 30?
yeah, pretty much. There's
He gets
a lot.
30 students per semester per year,
Yeah.
and they just run them through it. Course, and it's in Brunswick as well.
Yeah.
So anyone that's just finished high school, I think it's
Yeah, well,
or
if
like in
anyone
high
that's like
school
that's young and who's at risk of homelessness, or who's like under that, is unprivileged and just doesn't know what they
they're
want to do
doing.
with their life,
and
and
they have a passion for obviously doing film or media, anything to do with
Yeah.
media.
photography,
Photography.
That's
radio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
And
great
they-
organization.
Yeah, they're just really good. Like they're really good at just being there for you in any way as well.
And we're always there like on Thursday, just hanging out at the place, and John's there, and so he even like when we started when we were in the middle probably of Jebena Genie, they saw what we were doing. Once they realized, oh, this is bigger than even we thought. They thought we thought we were just gonna do. They thought we were gonna do a little sketch, and then when it became bigger than that, they were like, okay, guys, let's sit down and have a chat. And then they said, first, we want you guys to write the whole thing. So finish writing the whole project instead of writing something and then recording it, because that's gonna cause a lot of problems. So write it, and then we will check it for you if you like. We'll proofread it, and we'll give you some suggestions. If you like it, take it. If you don't, leave it. So. We did that for about a couple of weeks, and then they helped us out, and all the script was like done really well. Everything, the story mapped out and worked well, and then they said, yeah, now we can help you record. And John and
Hayden
and so these guys that work there, our teachers also there, actually helped us come and record. So they would be using their spare time to come and help us do this project. So
yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, one of the guy, Hayden, who actually had like a short film that he wanted to do, and basically the budget that he had for that, decided to give it to Jebena Genie, which was so like to just like give away your baby and just like forget about that project, and then to fund another project that was huge. So we're definitely like, we wanted to do it justice,
Yeah. And
definitely.
how long do you think the post-production would take once you receive all the funding?
Well, pretty much we're like, with the story and everything, like I've been there every day editing it, and so everything is already pretty much there. Now there's just the sound for it to sound like, good quality for it to sound, and to look visually as well. So to add some visual effects and the color grading as well, to just make it look natural and watchable as possible as well. So pretty much we were hoping to get it out by July. But sometimes things just don't go the same way. The universe just doesn't align.
In 10 days time.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, mid-July, that was the plan. But you know what?
Now it's probably going to be early August.
Yeah, that's still really soon. I'm super excited to see it. Yeah, hit your TV, home screens.
We're gonna do like a premiere of it as well, to just like show it to the community, those that have donated to our campaign as well. So they'll definitely get settings and.
Yeah. Are you gonna do some merch?
Oh yeah, we do.
Oh yeah, we haven't even
Shirts
thought about
and
that.
mugs or something.
That's a good idea.
Oh, you can start doing your own coffee pots.
Coffee pots.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
That's good idea. I was like, that's
mean,
a
you're
bad
trying to,
idea.
like-
I was trying to say that's not a bad idea. That's
Yeah.
what I
Or
was
you're
trying
trying
to
to
say.
shut it down and then like steals it.
Yeah.
That's a terrible
bad idea.
idea,
That's
Annie.
Horrible. How dare you say that?
You go on Instagram, you're like, hey,
10,000 ordered. Well, that's fantastic.
we should hire her. Hey, she's got some good ideas down there.
Well, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much for coming and chatting to me as part of Jacq and Dene. Let us know as well where we can find out more info.
Yeah, so if you want to find out more info, please go on to our Facebook page. So it's Sam and Sami Productions. So you'll find the trailer for Jebena Genie there, and you'll find a link to the Chuffed website where you can donate any amount you want. And that's Sam and Sami Productions on Facebook. The "and" is, I don't know how to. What is it? You told us
An ampersand.
it's an ampersand instead of AND. It's ampersand.
Yeah,
So
that's
Sam
good.
ampersand.
There's no space between
For those-
Sam space and space.
Yeah, for those who don't know what ampersand is,
Which was
get
you.
educated like myself. Yeah, Annie will tell you.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Sam and Sami, for your time today.
No, thank you, Annie.
Thank you for having us.